Hey guys. I see you guys. I see you guys. I was gonna try and pin a comment, which is what we're gonna talk about today. Instagram has finally let Sidra B come out of Sidra B live jail. They had me in jail, I don't know for how many weeks, talking about I posted something with nudity. Hello, it's Sidra Page. What do you think is going to be on there? Thank you guys. Thank you. So yeah, so Instagram said I violated their rules and I posted something with nudity, and that's why I couldn't do a live on Sidra B for like weeks and weeks. So I'm back. Last night, because I keep reporting it to Instagram. We can't hear you well. Noise in the background is louder. I don't know. Maybe that's my husband's what do you call it? Phone. Because this is my headsets here. So the microphone is right here. Hold on, Papa. Yeah. Can you put your headphones in? Let's see if you guys are not hearing the background noise. I told him to put his headphones in. Yeah, so I'm back. I'm out of Instagram jail. Last night I was testing it because I've been reporting it to them over and over, like, hello, you guys have me in jail. When are you going to release me? And finally I saw I was able to do a live. So we are back. So you guys can hear me fine. Alright. I wish I had looked through you, but that's okay because round 2 I definitely will. So what happened, Marcos Doll, for you to say that? So what I want to talk about today is we are going to jump right into sharing some education to the masses. Because I want to put something on my YouTube. I have not been updating YouTube like I should. So I want to talk today about that post I made on my feed, talking about what labs are done when you come to the DR for surgery. So first of all, if you are not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe, follow, like, comment. I do read the comments. I may not respond because it's different people commenting, whatever. But I do read the comments on YouTube. You know, I'll binge read sometimes. I don't go every day and check it. You know. So let's jump into talking about your labs. When you go to the DR, what to expect. Different doctors, different clinics will have different rules or different procedures that they want you to do. So I'm going to speak in a general terminology for what your lab day should go like and what to expect. My personal experience has been, I've done my labs at Monumental Hospital, which was my round 1. The staff there at Monumental did not speak a word of English. So Dr. Laurent actually went with us when we did our labs and translated for us. So at Monumental, what I did was, my husband and myself, we did the blood test where they take a blood sample from you, the urine test, a urine sample, EKG, and chest x-ray. So that was my round 1 at Monumental. They did all of that. Then of course they send the results, over to your doctor, your plastic surgeon. Depending on where you get your labs done, it may be a day, it may be a couple hours, it may be 2 days. You may have to wait. Hey Davina, to get your results. My round 2, I did at Centro Medico del Caribe, which is another clinic / hospital. I did blood test, urine test, chest x-ray, and the cardiologist, the EKG, I did at Sickle with one of the cardiologists on the 2nd floor, with some gentleman, I don't remember his name. Round 3, when I was going to do my round 3, at Sickle, I did the blood test, the urine test, the chest x-ray, and the EKG. Alright. we're not gonna talk about the nightmare that is Sickle. For you guys that are having surgery there in Sickle, whether it's whichever doctor, Cabral, Tisla, Lawrence, Duran, Wilfredo, Eusebio, whoever you're having surgery with, just be prepared for the nightmare that is Sickle. And they are messing up people's results bad. My husband, like I told you guys, had surgery twice before. He was never told anything about he had a sickle cell trait, because we definitely know he does not have sickle cell. When he did labs for round 3, they told him, oh, you have the sickle cell trait, so no, we can't do your surgery. You're going to have to get all these additional testing done to test your blood and see how your blood clots and this, that, and the other. They also, when they did his lab work in Sickle, they also put the wrong blood type on there. So you guys that are having surgery in Sickle with these various doctors, and I'm going to talk about my people that are having surgery in Sickle, be prepared. Be prepared for Sickle staff to mess up your results, because it's hundreds of women literally there every day getting lab work done. And don't be surprised if you're given the wrong information. Like you're told you have COVID, you're told you have the sickle cell trait, you're told you're HIV positive. Somebody messaged me and told me that they were going to have surgery with Cabral, and they were told they're HIV positive, and they know they're not. They went and did the HIV test at another clinic, came back with the results and said negative. So they are messing up big time in Sickle in regards to you guys' lab. I'm sorry for you guys that are going there to have surgery with these various doctors, and I'm going to be using them to do your lab work. Imagine my husband if he needed a blood transfusion and then they gave him the wrong blood. What is the implications to his health that could have happened? So, Dr. Rami, customers of mine that are having surgery in Sickle with Dr. Rami, you will not be doing your blood work and your urine test at Sickle. It's going to be done at Central Medical Delta Rebate, and your x-ray and your EKG will be done at Sickle. So the blood work, the blood and the urine is what I think is the biggest issue. My hubby, when they said that he was had the sickle cell trait, we were like, no he doesn't, because he's had surgery twice before and this was never told to him, so why suddenly does he have a sickle cell trait? He went back down to do the blood work a second time to give them another blood sample. Would you know that he told me, because I didn't go with him, I was staying at the what do you call it, at the cardiologist on the second floor, waiting to see her, waiting in line. He told me that when he went down there, the lady who is doing the writing of your name on the vial of blood and so forth, she first of all told him that she didn't give her a sample. When he was like, yes I did, you have it, she was putting the incorrect name on his blood sample, somebody else's name, and he had to tell her, no, that's mine, and you need to put my name on it, not this other person's name. So they are, guys, and this is not something I'm speculating or I'm wondering, whatever. This is what I've seen with my own two eyes, what my husband and myself have experienced. For example, my husband has AB blood, a very rare blood type. On the lab work, printed on there, it said his blood type is O positive. You know, so we know that that is not his blood type, because the blood bank calls him all the time, could you please come and give us a sample, again because he has a very rare blood type. So you may want to speak to your doctor, you may want to do your own labs. That's why I posted on the list exactly what is tested when you come to the DR for your blood work and your urine. You may want to do those tests yourself in America a couple days before you come down for your labs. Make sure you know your blood type and bring it with you to show your doctor. So when you get your lab results, if it's something else that you know you have that's 2-3 days old, you can definitely compare it and let them know. Because for the people that have sickle cell or the sickle cell trait, you guys are in for a world of drama when you get to the Dominican Republic. Because of that, they're going to make you go to see a hematologist. I think that's like $200. They're gonna make you go and do more than one blood test. Lola, come here. Which is to check and see how your blood is clotting. Which is, if you look at that list I posted, it says PCT. That's one of those tests that they check to see how your blood clots. Another thing that some of you guys may have problems with, that you want to get again tested before you get down there, because then it's going to be more money you're spending, because these are the implications. You're going to be spending more money to do all these different tests that the doctor wants to clear you for surgery. Then your surgery is going to be delayed by how many days until they get the results and the clearance from these specialists that have to say, yes, we are going to allow you to perform surgery on this person. Because no doctor wants to be performing surgery on somebody that they haven't gotten clearance for when you have a special circumstance, and then get sued or get maligned all over the internet about their reputation and so forth. So of course they're going to be like, nope, I'm not doing surgery on you until I get clearance from this specialist or whatever about what do you call it, about your special situation. So some of you guys that are not aware, you may be overweight, you may be obese, who am I to talk, because my BMI is 33, I'm overweight too. But the implications of being overweight, you may be told, or you may not know, that you have a fatty liver, or you may have liver issues because of all the situation with your weight, and if you're pre-diabetic or you're pre-hypertensive and things like that. So when you go down there, and if you look at the list, it says liver enzyme, 2 different tests that they're doing for that. You go down there and you're told now, you have to go see a gastroenterologist, I think is the pronunciation. Why? Because your liver test came back, your blood work came back with your liver enzymes, or your liver numbers are elevated, they're high. Again, that's delaying your surgery. That's now more days that you're going to have to either shell out that money for the recovery house to stay longer. Does the recovery house have room to keep you longer? Will you have to leave the recovery house and go find an Airbnb or find another place to stay? Because now your surgery is now delayed up to a week, up to 2 weeks. Some people, surgery has been delayed, and I've seen this twice. Example, one young lady came down there for surgery, did not know that her hemo was 11. When she tested herself before surgery, it was 13.6. She has very heavy periods, she said, and had her period, came down to the DR to do her surgery. When they tested her hemo, it was 11. No doctor is going to do, no doctor worth his salt who cares about if you live or die is going to do your surgery at 11. So she decided she did not want to leave without her surgery. So what did she do? It took 2 weeks, 14 days for her hemo to go from 11 to 11.9. And this is with her doing multiple iron infusions and also drinking a bunch of beet juice, eating beets, eating greens, eating liver, doing all these different iron, I should say iron-rich food recipes, like drinking black beans with carnation milk and all these different things that they tell you in the DR to do to get your iron up. After the first week, she went from 11 to 11.19. After 2 weeks, she went to 11.9 and she was able to get her surgery, because the minimum you have to be is at least 12. So, in her case, she was able to stay longer, like stay the allotted time after her surgery. At the recovery house. They had room to give her to stay. So she was able to stay, I think, another like a week and a half before she went back home. So she ended up staying in the DR for almost a month to have her surgery. Let me see what you guys are saying. So you guys are asking about doing your lab work and bringing your paperwork. I highly recommend that. Like myself, I did my hemo test, what was it, like 2 days before I came to the DR to make sure that my hemo was where it should be. What if you get all this tests before you go, just in case they try to say otherwise? Yep, you want to spend your money and do that. Plastic surgery, guys, you guys need to be prepared for anything. Anything meaning that you need to have $2,000 extra, because you don't know what's going to happen when you get down here. What price may change, what additional tests and specialists you may see, what you may have to, like I said, extend your stay in the DR if you really want to have your surgery, or you want to go back home and work on whatever health issues you have. So it's always good to have an extra $2,000 with you, on your debit credit card, have another like $1,500 on there, because you never know what you may have to pay for. Somebody said, how do they check what blood type you are in the DR? What do you mean, how do they check what blood type you are? The same way they check in America. They take your blood and they test it. I don't even know how to answer that. It's the same thing they do in America. How do you know your blood type? They got to take a blood sample and test you, right? This is my first time doing all of this about how much should I bring for my labs. So your doctor or your doctor assistant or whoever should be telling you what labs are included in your surgery report. If you have health issues and you need to get additional testing, then that's where extra money is going to be needed. But if you have all your labs done, you got clearance from your doctor in America, you did a full physical, you did whatever scans, tests, whatever, to make sure that you are in good health and ready for surgery, then you shouldn't have an issue going down to the DR and then being surprised with, oh, you have this problem or you have that problem. So I don't understand, how some people go to the DR for surgery and never once got a physical, got themselves tested to make sure they're healthy, never once tested their hemo, and then they go down there and they're given this big surprise like, hello, did you think surgery was just getting your passport and jumping on a plane? 2,000 exactly is how much I was bringing. Davina said I did all my labs right before, so when they tried the foolishness, I had the paperwork. Do you have to pay for everything in cash? In cash, some places you can pay things in cash, some places you can pay with your card, some places you can pay pesos only, some places will take US dollar. For example, you go to the pharmacy, you can pay either in pesos or with your card, debit or credit card. You go to the FARHA store, like when I went to buy my compression bras, when I did my round 2, I totally forgot I had to buy a compression bar before I got to the DR. So I went to Fakati and I paid actually in some US and in some pesos for my garments. So and they take card as well. The alteration place that I recommend, they're right next to Fakati. They take actually all forms of payment, cash, pesos, and card. So a lot of places, the only places I would say you really need to have pesos for, if you don't have a card with you with money on it, would be the pharmacy, because they don't take US. If you're eating out, a street side vendor, a food truck like that, restaurants will take card or pesos, not US dollars. The supermarket will take pesos or card, not US dollars. Dream Buddy said I was asking if they do check, not how. Dream Buddy, you're asking some kind of questions that to me honestly is very common sense. If you are going to plastic surgery in any country, even in America, why would the doctor not, or not the doctor, but the labs that you have to do prior to surgery, why would they not check your blood type? I mean, that's to me like a duh question. Of course they're going to check your blood type, because what if you need to get a blood transfusion? When they're going to check your blood, when you need a blood transfusion? So of course they are organized in the sense that they want to have all this information in I should say up front before you lay on the table. This is totally off, but damn, your teeth are beautiful. I don't know, it looks kind of yellow maybe because I'm using a little glitter filter. But Dr. Lauren Hernandez did a really good job on my teeth whitening. Like I was like, hey, that's me. So I totally enjoyed that teeth whitening that I did with her. And right now I have her on my feed, and I have her on my IG stories, because she's just made 2,000 followers, and she's doing a giveaway, a free teeth whitening evaluation and something else, I think, which is like maybe like $500 value US, for not just the teeth whitening, but for the evaluation and stuff, because normally the teeth whitening is like $300, typically it's her price. But she told me, if you guys WhatsApp her and you're interested in getting services done, whether it's veneers, braces, teeth whitening, whatever, she will give you a discount once you mention to her that Surgery sent you. I just said the teeth whitening, but the FARHA, and again guys, when I recommend people, it's because I use their services. I'm not going to recommend somebody who I did not use their service before. So Dr. Lauren did my teeth whitening and my hubby's teeth whitening. My hubby wants to get an implant on one of his teeth, but that's like a 2 or 3 part process, I think. So that's not going to be immediate thing that he does right now. I think maybe on the next trip to the DR he'll probably start it, and then I think it's something like in a couple of weeks you have to go back to finish the other part of it. So I'll keep you guys of course posted on that. But definitely him and myself were very pleased with the teeth whitening results when we saw, you know, before and after picture. The FARHA, the only FARHA I recommend in the DR guys is Fakati. It's Fakati. I cannot stress that enough. And like the owner of the Fakati store told me, and I need to post that video when I was talking to him. He said the material that Fakati is made from, there is no other company that has been able to replicate that material. And he calls it the Mercedes-Benz of the FARHA. And I can believe that, because I've tried other brands of FARHA. I've tried the custom Alexander FARHA, which I felt like was a waste of $220, because the material he uses is too stretchy. It does not give you compression. Fakati, that material that they use on that FARHA, I can rave on and on about it. And let me tell you guys, I am telling you guys about Fakati, and no, I do not get a dime from Fakati. I do not get a commission, a kickback, a percentage. I get nothing from any of these people that I am telling you guys to use their services. I just love Fakati because it did wonders, I think, for molding and shaping my body after my plastic surgery, and then to keep the shape of my body even after. Their FARHAs, I think, they start I think like $150. The owner is I think he's black Dominican, but he speaks very good English. His wife, I know, is Colombian. She doesn't speak any English. When you get to the Fakati store or the alteration store, which is in the same building, literally a door that's right next to their window, like you can't even miss it when you go to see Fakati. Those people are also hired by Fakati to do alterations on the FARHA. So first of all, what you should be doing is, when you're getting your FARHA altered, is try on your FARHA. They have a changing room in there. You can put it on, they can help you put it on, and then the tailor who is there at the alteration store will come out and check what areas, especially your torso, that needs to be taken in and how much it needs to be taken. That's what he had me do. The issue I had in the past was going to Alexander with my FARHA and my hubby's FARHA. He never had you try anything on. He just had you leave the FARHA there, altered it, and then it was too damn tight. My husband and myself couldn't get into the FARHA. We had to buy new FARHAs because of that. That's how $150 in the FARHA you're wasting, and another $30 to alter it. So let's say $200 you're wasting right there. So this is what I like about this FARHA alteration place that's right there with Fakati. It's the same plaza. When you drive in the plaza, you're gonna see the building, a brown building. It's a 2-story building. Fakati is on the first floor. The alteration place is right next to them. And then to the back of the building, with a white big sign, you're gonna see Alexander FARHA. So if you see Alexander FARHA, that's not where you're going. You want to go to Fakati and the alteration store in the front. But don't listen to me. Spend your money, waste it, and then come back and tell me I should have listened to you and not get the Alexander FARHA. Now the Alexander FARHA, when I bought it, I got the one made with the built-in bra and the sleeves. The sleeves, they didn't make it beyond your elbow. So now it's cutting right here above my elbow. The bra, right here where it snaps with those hooks, within 2 weeks of me wearing it, it started ripping. The material is so elasticated that when I got it, because they custom sized me to make it, and I wasn't swollen. This is how many years I'm post-op from surgery. Within a week, I was able to go from 1 hook to 3 hooks. And that shouldn't be happening, because I'm not swollen, I'm not losing inches like when you have plastic surgery. I have no more swelling anymore. This is my my size that I'm going to be until I probably have my next round of surgery. But for those reasons, that's why I don't like Alexander FARHA. It's nice if you get it for maintaining your figure, a year after surgery when all your swelling is down and you're back to your permanent size. But right out of surgery, that's a hell no. That is a hell no for me. But like I said, don't listen to Surgery Bay. Do your own thing. Just don't come complain to me after. All the labs are in US cash? No. When I went to Centro Medico del Caribe to do my COVID test and my hemo test that I did on my own last time when I was there in March, I paid in pesos. So you don't have to pay in cash. I mean, when they see that you're a tourist, they're going to tell you, you know, $40 US for the COVID test. But you can ask them, what is the price in pesos? Should we go to Sickle first or Centro Medico? So my recommendation is always go and see your doctor's assistant first before you go to do your labs, because everybody is their own individual special case. You don't know by just walking into Centro Medico and saying, oh, I'm here to do my labs with Dr. Rami from Sickle, and that's it. Because you don't know, you really don't know your particular case, what could be any additional paperwork you need or what could have changed at the time, because things change in the DR every 5 seconds. There's always some different rule or different this and different that. So my advice to everybody is go to your doctor's office, see his assistant first before you go anywhere to do any kind of labs. They will guide you, they will tell you, do this, do that, go here, go there. Because Centro Medico del Caribe, the lab is open 24/7. But Sickle, to do your chest x-ray and to do your, what's the other one? EKG, the doctors and the assistant that does the x-ray, they're not there 24/7. Like the cardiologist, I think she comes in at 7 a.m. and leaves by 12. The x-ray people, I think they're there until maybe 4. So you can go to Centro Medico, you know, in the afternoon and give your blood and pee sample, because it's literally one room right there. You're going to be doing both things. But the x-ray and the EKG, you're going to be there early. So instead of you now going to Centro Medico and then coming there and now you're late on the list, or you're how many people down on the list, 50, you're number 50 or whatever, you know, that's going to delay your surgery, pushing it back by another day, because now you may not get all of that done the same day. You're going to have to come the next day now to see the cardiologist and the x-ray, or do one and then do the other the next day. So go to the assistant, make sure she wants you to do it like this. Like, that's what I would do at least. Common sense for me, seeing how Sickle works, would be to go see the assistant, go do the x-ray and the cardiologist first, and then go to Centro Medico in the afternoon and get your pee and blood sample done. Because it literally takes not even 10 minutes to do that, to be honest. Like when I went to do my COVID test and my hemo test, they drew the blood. There was people waiting, but they were waiting on their results for the COVID test. So there was no long wait that I had to wait to get seen. I think I probably waited like maybe 15 minutes to get seen, and then after, when you know they took my payment and wrote my information down, maybe another 10 minutes to wait, and then the PCR test and the blood sample was that quick. Is it cheaper to do Uber or get a driver? Uber is cheaper, definitely. When I was there in March, I was using Uber with my nurse, because I don't speak Spanish, so I'll be damned if I get into some Uber driver car, even though it was the daytime, and some crazy shit happened, you know. So, and then we also actually used Uber in the night as well. But again, that's because I was with a local. I was with her. She uses Uber all the time. Me, on the other hand, I am not using Uber in the night as a single woman by myself. Maybe if I had other people with me, other girls with me as a group, I would, but definitely not as a single woman by myself. Because you never know. You never know what people's intentions are. I'm not saying everybody is rapists and murderers out there, but you never know what people's intentions are when they see you as a single woman traveling by yourself. So I would say during the day, if you want to use Uber, by yourself, then okay. But do not take the Uber driver phone number and call him like, oh, I need a driver, can you come get me? No. Always go through the Uber app. Always. That way there's a record and documentation of who was picking you up, what is their car, what is their number plate, license plate number, what they look like, and so forth. A lot of people get tricked like that, where they take these drivers' number and then call them to get a ride wherever, because oh, I'm going to give it to you cheaper, blah blah blah, and then they get robbed because the driver set them up, where some friend jumps out in the middle of the street with a gun, and then you get robbed, and then you're wondering, oh my God, what happened? That's what happened, because people are tricky like that. And for me, these are just common sense things as a woman traveling, especially if you're traveling alone to another country. You know, safety things that you should be mindful of and be aware of before you do it. Using the driver, which is longer drives, like going to the airport. If you want to go to the beach, you want to go to Boca Chica, then I would say use the driver for that, because nobody should be going to Boca Chica by themselves unless they are going with a local. And I'm talking about the local beach. If you're going to like a nice restaurant, a nice little upscale restaurant like Neptuno or Boca Marina or one of them, then that's different. But if you're going to the regular beach, be prepared for a lot of people that are hustlers. I mean, Boca Chica is a very grimy area. You know, there are areas you can go there where you'll be safe. But if you're just going, walking around, driving around, going to the regular public places, you're going to see prostitutes, drugs, like I said, grimy characters just walking around. So you don't want to go down there again by yourself either. If you want to go with your driver, I think most drivers charge like $125 for the day to go to the beach, and the driver will stay with you. So that's roughly the price. Where can I go for braces? So I was talking earlier about Dr. Lauren Hernandez, whose services that I used, and she's tagged right now in my IG stories and on my feed. What about Casa Colombia? I don't know what the hell is that. What's Casa Colombia? I don't know what Casa Colombia is. Hey Durandal, should we go to Sickle first or Central Medical for our labs? I think I answered that, right? Can you save this live, please? I'm having a hard time watching it because where am I? I am this horrible reception. Okay, I'll save the live. Don't worry. I'm gonna put it on YouTube when we're done. How much was your COVID test? $40. I was told not to have my phone out in public. So let's talk about that. If you're doing the tourist thing, like holding your phone out the window and taking video, whatever, yes, somebody could drive by on a motorcycle and snatch it out your hand. You're in the capital. You're in the city. Santo Domingo has a lot of crime. But if you're, you know, in the car, your hand is in the car, your phone is in the car, you have maybe the window partially down, then yeah, I mean that could still happen, but you're, I would say, a little more safe. If you're I don't know, going to a tourist area and you want to do videos and pictures, whatever, I mean you're pretty good with your phone doing pictures and videos if you're visiting, like, I don't know, Zona Colonial, or like you're going to the beach, whatever. But depending on the area you're in, because some of you guys want to go sightsee and, you know, on your own and do your own thing, you don't want to go and take a local to go around with you. Yes, people will do that sometimes depending on the area you're in. Example, I was at Butterfly Recovery House, Butterfly number 2, the hot box, because I mean there's no air conditioning, that's why I mean the hot box. We're standing on the sidewalk outside the house talking. The nurse, what's her name, Glennie, comes out and tells us, oh, don't have your phone in your hand like that, because it was literally in my hand like that, because somebody could drive by on a motorcycle and grab it out your hand and keep going. So yeah, if you're in a ghetto area, if you're in a hood area, then yes, things like that could happen to you. But again, that's all of that is being a smart, you know, traveler. All of that is being using common sense in my book. You know, like, do your research on where you're going. Do your research on you guys that are staying at these different Airbnbs because they're super cheap, or you're staying at super recovery houses. You want to ask these people, what neighborhood is this? What is the name of the neighborhood? Or where is this place located? And then do your research, because that way when you Google stuff, you can tell, oh well, I'm in the barrios, I'm in the hood, I'm in the ghetto, this is where they have this recovery house, this is why this Airbnb is $15 a night, $20 a night. Like all the Airbnbs I've stayed at, honestly, is $100 a month. The first one I stayed at was 95, and honestly, that should have been like $200 a night. I don't even know why they had the price so cheap. It was in an upper class area, which is Mirador del Sur, which is a big park that they have there with a 3-bedroom, 3.5 bathroom. The other one I stayed at was on the Malecon, which was close to Malecon Center, so we had that view of the ocean and stuff. So you want to look, you guys want to look on Airbnb, what area you're staying in, what's the price. Google the neighborhood and see what they say about it, if it's a high crime area or whatever. But again, that's, you know, doing your research before you go to another country for surgery. Casa Colombia is a FARHA, so I have no idea who that is. I have never heard that name. Maybe they're new and they're upcoming, and that's why they are not known on the internet as yet. If you want, send it to me, your IG page on DM, so I can take a look at it. But I've never heard of Casa Colombia in the Dominican Republic as a FARHA store. So those tests we were talking about earlier, those lab tests, guys, if you know you're sickle cell positive, or you have the sickle cell trait, or you have some kind of blood issue where your blood doesn't clot, things like that, you want to make sure and do additional testing before you come to the Dominican Republic. If not, be prepared for the bullshit. Be prepared for spending a bunch of money on other tests, on specialists, getting your surgery delayed a week or two, the recovery house getting pushed back even more, you having to come up with all this money to get another place, or go home and deal with your issue. Like I had one client, she had the sickle cell trait, never knew she had a sickle cell trait, found that out when she did her blood work, called her mom, and her mom was like, yes, your dad and I have a sickle cell trait. You don't have the disease, but you have the trait. Long story short, her surgery was denied because of that. And the hematologist basically told her that there are different tests that you need to get done. You've done some of it already here, but we still cannot determine if your blood is going to not clot during surgery and you're going to be bleeding heavily during surgery. So for that reason, I cannot approve your surgery. And of course, the plastic surgeon was like, okay, we can't do your surgery. But what do you call it? She had to go back home. She had to go back home, and she had these list of tests that the hematologist told her to do, get the results, and then if she wants to have surgery, come back to the DR to have the surgery. So this is just a lot of headache, guys, that not just my experience, thank God I've never had to do additional testing. What do you call it? Additional testing for myself, besides me now being diabetic, which is, you know, seeing an endocrinologist, and then probably getting any kind of additional testing from the cardiologist, like your, what you call a Doppler or your heart echo and stuff like that. So my hubby, same thing, he's diabetic as well. People who are diabetic know that they want your A1C. Some doctors say 6, some say 6.5 or less to have surgery. They would like your fasting blood glucose to be 100 or less, because anything over 100 is considered being diabetic. So if you're going to go do labs, your blood work, you want to make sure that you did not eat 12 hours at least before you go do your blood work. So if you're going to go do labs the same day that you're flying in, make sure you don't eat. Make sure you don't eat and drink and have all kind of whatever in your body. My round 1 did not know that they were going to do my blood glucose in the blood test. So what did I do? Woke up from sleep, saw the coconut vendor outside the condo, bought 2 coconuts, drank it, which is high in sugar, and then went and do my labs. My blood glucose came back as 235. Dr. Laurent was like, Roberta, what the hell? I can't do surgery on you, you're diabetic. At that point I wasn't. I was like, what do you mean? I'm not diabetic. I did my fasting blood glucose, it was 103. You know, so we went ahead, of course, with my surgery. But things like that happen. So you don't want to eat before you your blood work. You guys are saying that the video is freezing. Alright, well, let me end the live and maybe we'll